experience, an American icon, and Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga is the only place you'll find their new 2018 line. Are you ready to ride? Join the club. Go to Indian Motorcycle of Chattanooga. Just look for the sign, 153 and Amnicola. Indian Motorcycle, the true American original.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nooga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, right here on Nooga Radio.
If you want to discover the real hope for your life through inspirational music, relevant messages, and testimonies from others who have already found hope, then we encourage you to visit the second annual My Hope Conference, October 7th through 9th, at Hickson First Baptist Church. Free admission and childcare is provided for kids up to pre-K, while those in kindergarten through 5th grade will attend the Kids Hope Rally. For more info, visit myhopeconference.com or call Hickson First Baptist Church at 423-877-2467.
Good people here in the city of Chattanooga. How's everybody doing this morning? Y'all better wake up. It's Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know what it is. I'm taking it from the streets to City Hall, from City Hall to the mayor's office. Where is Mayor Burke? Can't leave out the police department. So much going on. Y'all know what it is. From the valley low to the mountaintop. Give you guys a bird's eye view to what's going on here in the city of Chattanooga. And yesterday was such a wonderful conversation. No, nobody called in, but I'm never discouraged sometimes when people don't call in, because hopefully that means that the wheels are turning, that you're thinking, because that's what I want you guys to do. Besides just wanting you to think, I want you to have compassion. I want you to have compassion for your neighbor. Somebody calling in already? Good morning. Talk to me.
Hey, this is Landon calling about your federal.
No, ma'am. You're not calling about anything. But y'all know what it is. 800-8949 is the call in if you want to call and chop it up with me today. And I'm always streaming live on Facebook, social media. Drop a comment if you will. Interact with me. Have a conversation with me, because that's all that I'm trying to do, is have a conversation with you. Why? Because I want you to get back to the time that maybe we're getting away from, where you're not thinking. I want you to use that beautiful brain God gave you, right? But I also want you to have compassion for the people around you. We're so detached from everything that's happening around us by social media. Some of it is by design. And then when you see things going on, you have, I continue to see people have like no compassion for one another. You know, I don't know if you're listening, and if you're a listener and if you're a Christian, even if you're not, that's okay. I still love you. But if you are a child of God and that's what you consider yourself to be, the word says, is how can you love a God you've never seen, but you got problems with the brother or the sister that you see every day? It's impossible for you to love God and not love people. Christ said that all of the laws of the prophet hang on those two things. Love God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your spirit, and then love people who you see every day. And we can't love people if we step over people. And I don't care about whoever that is who threw a laughing emoji on the Nooga Radio 92.7. You're immature. You're immature. Maybe my context is way beyond you, because you're still like in a child's mind. You know, the Apostle Paul said, when I became a man, I put away childish things. When I was a child, I think and I thought and I reasoned as a child. But now that I'm a man, I put away childish things. So maybe this conversation and what I talk about on the radio is beyond you, because I put away childish things. And I'm talking about things that adults need to be talking about and should be talking about here in the city of Chattanooga, which is everything that is happening with your brother and your sister. You got to be concerned, good people. Why? Because evil prevails when good people choose to do absolutely nothing, choose to turn a blind eye to what's going on. And we can't do that. So yesterday we had a conversation, and I'm going to play a drop for you. I covered the story of Noah Mecklemore. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Who had an interaction at his place of business. African-American man. You see, a lot, some of the understanding, some of the opinions, some of the ideology that people have about African-American people, you get it from television And that is, and Mike still calls in and talks about that we're socialized by design to think that Italian people are mobsters, to think that African American people are thugs, to think that Native American people are savages. We're socialized that way. But it's African American people. Sam, you're a child. You're on childish things. This young African American man has a business. Samuel Litt, do you have a business? Do you own a business, sir? While you're laughing, I don't understand what's really funny. But do you own a business? Maybe you should open up a business. But he's decided to just step outside of his business to have a cigarette. I didn't know that was illegal. I didn't know that would cause a problem. And wow, you step outside to have a cigarette at your business. Your business. And the next thing you know, you have an interaction with police officers. Let me drop this one time on the radio for you guys. Listen in.
Noah McLemore. Noah, tell my listener what happened.
Yes, I came outside my store, and I noticed I seen an officer like out of my peripheral vision, and she was clutching on her weapon, and she kind of scared me. Like it scared me, and I was asked to her something wrong, and she wasn't trying to hear nothing I was saying. She was just like, "Put your hands up." I'm like, "For what?" I said, "This is my place of business." And I kept on telling her that. She kept on asking for my ID. I said, "Yeah, I got it." I said, my ID and my business are clearly placed on the wall where it's supposed to be. She wasn't trying to hear none of that. She just was trying to search me and telling me to step to her car. And I kept on asking her for what. She never gave me no explanation why she was here. She never gave me no explanation why she wanted to pat me down. She just never gave me nothing, even after she pat me down. And then I told her she went in my store without my permission. I said, "Why are you going in there?" And she just walked in there like without even my permission. And I filmed it. I filmed her going in my store. Like, I mean, I don't know if she was trying to plant something on me or what. Like, I don't know what intention she had. And then not only that, like 4 other officers pulled up and like surrounded the parking lot. And I'm looking like, wow, like what is going on? And the whole time, then now officer tell me why they was here, what was going on. They never apologized. They never said nothing to me. To this day, I still don't know why they was here.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, today is September the 11th, and I would be derelict in my radio duties as a citizen of these United States if I did not honor those fallen, those who sacrificed their lives, those who died innocently from international terrorists. And then I would be further remiss if I didn't even think further beyond September 11th and even remember the instances like the Oklahoma City bombing that took the innocent lives of people here in these United States from domestic terrorists as well. All terrorists are not international. Some of them are homegrown. I would be remiss if I did not think about all of those who have died at the hands of those who are irresponsible here, that do not appreciate the lives of their brother and their sister, the person that they see almost every day, their neighbor. That's what we're all about here at Nuga Radio 92.7. We report, you decide. We're about local economy. We're about friendliness. We're about neighborhood enterprise, neighborhood relationships. We're about starting at home, right? Because to me, only a derelict person will be concerned about what's happening in another man's household, and his own household is in disarray. That's a double-minded man, an unstable person. We got to be concerned about what's happening right here in our backyard. And it's by design that the people always have their attention taken to outside of the country. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be concerned about what's happening in the world. You shouldn't have compassion for people around the world, right? But tell me why you know what's going on in Syria and you don't even know who your city council or person is or your county commissioner is. and you can't even reach out to them and get help on your homegrown problems and issues. Now, this young man, and so this is why Marie talks about it. And so obviously, if we continue to have these problems, there's a bigger question that we have to ask, and we have to ask why we continue to have these problems. And then if we look at and hold on just 1 second. If we look at the people that this is happening to people of color. Good morning. Talk to me.
I think a lot of things that people aren't aware of is, one, police are not necessarily I guess you would say, a constitutional entity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sheriff is police, especially when you're dealing with chief of police and all that. It's not an elected position; it's a political appointment. So they're in a lot of ways they're a political tool. Now, everybody says that their motto says protect and serve, but the Supreme Court has already ruled that the police are under no obligation to protect you.
That's right.
They're there to solve crimes after they happen. They're there to catch the bad guys, but that's it. But the main job of people like, the sheriff's department, their number one job, as outlined in the Constitution, is to keep the peace and protect your rights.
Say that first part again, because I don't want people to miss that. It's to do what?
It's the main job of the sheriff, which is the only law enforcement agency that is really listed in the United States Constitution, is to keep the peace and to protect your rights. They're there to protect the rights of the people. Now, what we've gotten into is when you start taking someone and you start training them like they're military, or dressing them like they're military, you start equipping them like they're military, how are they going to act?
They're going to act like they're military, right? I mean, I would just think that, right?
Yeah. My son, I bought him all kinds of superhero outfits. And he puts on a Batman costume, he's going to act like Batman. You put him in a Spider-Man costume, he's going to act like Spider-Man. If he dresses like a ninja, he's going to act like a ninja. So what we've got to do is get back to the point of, recognizing that the North Star of how our country is supposed to run is the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And that Constitution, whether that Constitution was written with you in mind, as being African American, it still applies to you.
Right. It includes us now. It includes us now.
It should apply to you if we say that those are our values. Our values can change. Our recognizing of people's humanity can change, but our principles need to stay the same. And, whether this goes from policing or whether this goes to the issues of Colin Kaepernick or all that, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, they all need to apply equally to everyone. So whether you're a cop or you're a doctor or you're the owner of a news station or whatever, you've got to, if we don't start valuing the Constitution and the way it was laid out, then our republic is lost.
Thank you so much. Sir, what's your name, if you don't mind me asking? Scott, you are a citizen. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, somebody is getting it. My work is not in vain. David's work is not in vain. Somebody understands what I'm talking about. I'm so excited. Why? Because this is what I continue to talk about. The Constitution, the Constitution, the Constitution. I'm trying to drill it in your head because you didn't get it in school. I didn't get it in school. I didn't get it in school. You didn't get it like you should have. And I'm not saying that the understanding of it is just for police. It's for all areas of government. I quoted Thomas Jefferson last week, and I'm so excited. Scott, you just lit a fire in me. You just don't understand, my man. Trust no more in man, but bind him from mischief by the chains of the Constitution. He said, trust no more. One of the most powerful, intelligent men that we've ever had walk in these United States said, trust no more in man, but bind him from his mischief by the chains of the Constitution. It's really all we have. My radio programmer talks to me and tells me, Marie, Constitution is your North Star. It's your foundation. It should be the foundation upon which this constitutional republic is built upon. We are not in a democracy, for that is a mob rule. It has never worked. You talk about democracy, that's why Rome is no more. Rome is no more because of democracy. Yeah, democracy is this great idea until it fails you. It has failed us. It has failed us because we've bought into a mob rule, giving every ounce of our power over. Because the Constitution states the people, the people, the people, the people. It's just this recurrent theme of the people. People first. The people first. It's all about the people. That's what Marie Mott is about. The people, your freedoms, right? Your rights. And I'm worried because I know if it will happen to the select few, because African-American people in these United States they are a minority. We are a minority. And I'm so worried that if people will not respect the constitutional liberties and rights of people of color, you cannot tell me that they will not respect your individual liberties and rights if you are white or anybody else. You cannot tell me that. And, I'm not really a large fan of Kaepernick, and I'm not really going to get into that in the show. But when Kaepernick started, he said one thing that was very, very true. How is it that people who have to cut hair have to go to school for 2 years and then get a license, and people who have guns and weapons, and then not only just regular guns, but then military style weaponry, they don't have to go through 2 years of training. They don't have to do that, right? They don't have to do that. How long is it? Maybe 8 weeks, 12 weeks. They don't have to go through boot camp and then additional training like our military servicemen and women. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. Yes, if you give them military style weapons, what will they pretend to be? And let's be real. We're so desperate for city police. Some of these folks didn't even make it into the military because they Looney Tunes. And so they decided, because now they can't get into the military, because the military is really not about having crazy people work for them. They could come get a job and be a city cop. And we have to. So this is the point. I'm not against police. By no shape, form, or fashion. But first of all, because Mike, still where you at? You got to call in today. How can people, you know that your mayor, your city council persons, your county mayor, and your commissioners all take a sworn oath to uphold the state and the federal constitution. And I guarantee you, if I went to city council tonight and asked each and every one of them just to recite the Bill of Rights, I guarantee you they couldn't do it. I guarantee you they couldn't do it. Which would make them a liar. How can you uphold something you don't know? And then you appoint people who are not appointed by the people. You see, this is the whole problem with how government is working as it is. How do we have people who are appointed to have police power that are not appointed by the people? What? Does that even sound like it's going to work? Come on, we got to ask ourselves these simple questions. If we all about the law, because that's all I see people talk about, the law, the law, the law. You don't even know it. You don't even know it. Your constitutional right says that really there should not be a municipal cop. It should only be sheriffs, because they're the only people who are bound by the Constitution and are duly elected by you as a citizen. You do not elect the city cop, right? Which means that you have no governance over the city cop, which means that if he does anything against you, how do you quit it? How do you stop it? Oh, man. Scott, you done got me on fire. On fire. Ooh-wee. But I'm glad somebody gets it. They understand that the reason that we have tyranny, the reason that we have anarchy, dissent, is because people don't, first of all, know the Constitution. They're sworn to uphold it, which will make them a liar. And then they will give 52%. They won't offer your children anything for education. They're not helping our Chattanooga's homeless. They're just pushing them out of downtown so the tourists don't have to look at them, and then almost considered a panhandling ordinance to then criminalize them for asking for money for their need. How shameful is that? When if we looked at Christ, who was poor and had nowhere to lay his head, the man of God in the flesh who walked this earth, had nothing to his name. If Christ lived in this time, we would have been criminalizing our Savior. Think about that for a second. And we talking about the law. Ooh-wee. Y'all ain't ready for me. Y'all not ready? 800-8949 if you want to really talk to me. But I'm about your civil liberties. But ask yourself, how do we get wrapped up in this process that is unconstitutional? Unconstitutional. And is this why we continue to have problems? Same old problems. Stay tuned for the second half of the segment. We're going to talk about it, open records versus inspection. We're going to talk about it, how do people got to get their power back? Because I'm all about power to you, the listener. Why? Because the Constitution has given you so many rights. And I want you to embrace those rights and live in peace. And not only be free, but be free indeed. Stay tuned for the second half of the segment.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Benjamin Brewer, the truck driver who was convicted in the deaths of 6 people on I-75, wants a new trial. The jury found he was high on meth back in June of 2015 when those 6 people were killed in the wreck. He was convicted on charges of vehicular homicide by intoxication. His lawyers were in court Monday arguing their case. Gunshots erupted the quiet night on Monday. 1 victim shot rushed to the hospital. According to deputies, it happened on Coffee Road. A suspect was arrested at the scene. And a Lafayette woman was arrested after drugs and guns were reportedly found in her storage unit. Police officers executing a search warrant say they found over a kilo of meth, numerous guns, and a large amount of cash. Reports say the storage unit had what's called a conversion lab in it. It converts liquid meth into crystal state for consumption. Angela Michelle Hughes arrested. Val St. John for Nooga Radio, News Talk 92.7, Action News Now.
Let's face it, Old Faithful isn't as faithful as it used to be. Constant repairs are a hassle and can rack up quick in money and time. Landers McClarty Ford can fix that. Right now, you can get a 2016 Ford Focus, 34,000 miles, only $11,491. A 2017 Chevy Spark with only 17,000 miles for less than $12,000. A 2015 Volkswagen Jetta with less than 21,000 miles for $11,991. Yeah, browse their entire inventory of new and new-to-you cars, trucks, and SUVs online at LandersMcCartyFord of FortPayne.com. Landers McClarty Ford of Fort Payne. If you can't find your next perfect ride, they'll go find it for you. Big city selection, small town prices, friendly service, and top dollar for your trade. The savings are waiting and only a short drive away, so what are you waiting for? Get started with your personalized shopping today at Landers McClarty Ford of FortPayne.com.
Nooga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Hello? Who am I speaking with? Eric, you're our winner. Really?
You'll receive tickets for all 3 races between the Camping World Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Monster Energy Cup races.
Holy cow.
In addition, you'll receive a 2-night stay at the Microtel Hotel and restaurant accommodations at 2 area restaurants.
Nooga Radio.
Roar into Talladega.
Nooga Radio.
92.7.
Your NASCAR racing station. Nooga Radio 92.7 FM.
Nooga Nuga Radio 92.7.
Join Nuga Radio and the Gridiron Gang live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks at 10 North on the North Shore. We're talking all things high school football. There's a specialty brew or refresher weekly inspired by the game of the week. Sweet treats, extended hours all season long, and we're pet friendly. Portions of all proceeds support local schools and educational scholarships as well as after-school programs. It's football time in Tennessee. Join us every Thursday live from 7 to 9 at Starbucks, 10 North, your North Shore neighborhood living room.
Your home is a constant work in progress. Repaint the walls? Yeah, easy enough. Leaky faucet? There's a video for that. But roof repair? You might want some help. That's where Chattanooga roofing contractors come in. They have 3 generations of roofing excellence you can count on. Leave the ladder in the garage. Go to chatroofing.com. That's chatroofing.com for Chattanooga Roofing Contractors, a roofing company you can trust.
Cash, 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 and more cash. Get 8.1% return on your money. Rick Davis can turn your cash into real money. Gold and silver bullion. American Eagle Gold. The banks give you a measly 1.9%. At Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds, you'll get 8.1% return on your money. 8.1% return on your money. Wow! Whether you're buying an ounce or 100 ounces, Rick guarantees it in writing. 8.1% Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Rainer Road, Chattanooga.
Man, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah, I worked with my dad on his truck all the time. Just one more bolt to go.
Yeah, wrong bolt. Today's truck ain't your daddy's truck. For repairs on today's vehicles, you need Amco Transmission and Total Car Care of Chattanooga on Lee Highway. Stay on the road, not in the garage. Amco Transmission on Lee Highway. Get it done the right way. The Thompson Pet way. Yeah, I just put that in.
Join We've Got You Covered with Scott Schrader every Saturday from 10 to 11 on Nuga Radio. From finance to fixtures, we discuss everything you need to know about buying or owning a home, the pitfalls, the perks, and everything in between. Saturday mornings, 10 to 11, right here on Nuga Radio.
Nuga Radio, Chattanooga weather.
Expect some clouds, but dry and pleasant weather out there through your afternoon. High settling into the lower 80s. Tonight, mild again, lows upper 60s. For Wednesday, partly cloudy, warmer highs into the upper 80s. For Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny, mainly dry, hot highs of around 90. Looking to buy or sell a home? Real Living Southern Realty provides real answers and customized marketing solutions. Serving the entire tri-state area, check rlsouthernrealty.com for their complete listings. And I'm Source Gene 12, Chief Meteorologist, Patrick Ford.
Nuga Radio 92.7.
Oh, y'all know what it is. Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. Let me dust off my shoulders one time. People hating on me, that's okay. Y'all not going to stop me from flexing my muscles and from doing what I have been born to do. I believe that I was raised up for such a time as this, to fight for the rights of the people. I asked David Toole, I said, man, why? Who's going to fight for the people? Who is fighting for the people? He texted me back something simple. He said, Marie, you are. And I said, well, I feel good about that. That somebody thinks that I'm fighting for them, because that really I am. I'm advocating for you, but I cannot do it alone. How can I help you in this fight to not only regain your confidence, to not only educate you on what you should know about the Constitution and your rights, because I care about you knowing your rights. But what are the next steps? How can we really start changing? Because I think a lot of us do. We do see problems and holes within our government. We do see problems and holes within our society. And a lot of us don't want to keep applying Band-Aid to bullet wound situations. I don't believe in doing that. We got to do surgery, folks. This is cancer. This is cancer, and y'all know how cancer works. If you don't get it under control, what happens? It spreads. The next thing you know, you're dead. Out the game. You are no more. People bury you, and the story is gone. Is that? Are we going to? I really want to know. Do we just need to accept defeat? I hope somebody out there said no. Should we just throw up our hands and say, you know what? I have no rights. Roll over my rights. Yep. It's just easier that way. Stop fighting. It's just too hard. Well, it's hard if it's just one person doing it. If y'all leave it up to me, yeah, it will be hard. It will be hard. But if you join hands with me, you know, it's kind of hard for me not to bring the word into how I talk. Number one, the word is in me. But the word says that a 3-strand cord is not easily broken. So if we are knotted together, if our purpose is intertwined, and I believe that there are those out there, you hear me. And you may not agree with everything that I say, but I think you resonate with my purpose on the radio, my purpose in the community. And if you join with me and just you don't have to work with me. But if you do the work for yourself, if you do the work in your community, we're already headed in a better direction. Already. Come on. Scott, you a citizen, man. You came on and you lit the airways on fire. I just had somebody say exactly what I've been talking about. Exactly what I talk about every week. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Talk to me. Hello, you on the air? Talk to me. Maybe they were scared. Call back and try again if you want to chop it up with me. But come on, good people. What now? So my homie, my friend Joel, who's watching, said that if you file a complaint, they're just going to ignore it. And I would agree. Yes, sir. If they file a complaint, they are just going to ignore it. That's why it's important for us to take it a step further. We can't just file out the complaint. And I didn't want you to misunderstand what I said yesterday. I will reaffirm what I just said. If you do just file a complaint, nothing is going to change. It won't. Number one, because you're not going to have the support of your city council. They will tell you, right? Carol Burrs told Jesse Parker, have you filed the complaint? She didn't offer her services as his representative to represent him and his issue against the Chattanooga Police Department because she's way too entangled with them. She's so infatuated. And for me, it's almost like she's obsessed with them. It's kind of gross. She didn't offer her services as his representative to say, hey, Jesse Parker, can you come up here and let me know what day you're off so I can go down with you and help you file out a complaint? And then after you file that complaint, I'm going to give you some action items or some things that I'm going to do as your representative to ensure that this doesn't happen to you or any other of the people within my district ever again. No, nothing like that. So yes, let me say this one time. Since we do not elect any municipal cop, any municipal officer, just like we do not elect any of the people who are elected to work within the mayor's office or within the city of Chattanooga. They serve at the will of the mayor. Guess what? I just want you guys to guess. Guess who we do have power over? The city council, who does have power over them. Guess what else? In accordance to Tennessee state law, you have the right to the open records of anybody who works for the city of Chattanooga. And not only do you have a right to the open records for them, but you also have a right to inspect, for law enforcement, to inspect those records. Oh, wait. You see, this is why Marie Mott, about 2 to 3 months ago, I got kicked out of City Hall because David Toulis, who is the smartest guy with the bow tie. Y'all need to tune in to David Toulis 1 to 3 every single day. Because y'all missing out on law information. Man, David goes in. He goes in his own way. Okay? In his own way. But he dropped so many nuggets. I'm telling you, you would benefit from listening to David just as well as me. That for law enforcement, you actually have a right to inspect the records. Marie, when you say open records versus inspection, what does that mean? Well, let's chop it up about that. So you could go to Chattanooga TN. You can go to the Chattanooga, Tennessee website Now it's a long link, but I'll just chop it up to where you can just keep it simple. ChattanoogaTN.mycusthelp.com. So that's MYCUST help.com. That will take you to the Chattanooga Open Records page. All right. You'll have to set up an account, but once that account is set up, and depending on what you're asking for, you might have to send in a copy of your identification. But if you have an instance where, and I'm going to go back just a little bit in just a second. If you have an instance where you were abused, you were mistreated, not just by the police, but also by a city employee. First of all, I need you to get their name. Okay? You need their name because you can request their personnel file. And if they are law enforcement, you can inspect that in person, meaning that you don't have to make an appointment. You can go down to the city attorney's office. You can go up, I think it's like 4 flight of steps. And you're going to have them buzz you in. But yeah, you can go in there with no meeting. And you can request, if it's law enforcement, and say, I would like to inspect the records of such and such and such and such. And if the city attorney, Mr. Noblet, says that you have to request it through the portal, he is a liar. And I'll make sure that we post the links on the Chattanooga Nooga Radio 92.7 FM page, because this Tennessee statute says otherwise. And if he's not upholding the law as the city attorney, we need to have him fired. Oh, yeah. Because if you're not upholding the law, that means you're doing what? You're breaking it. And if you don't know the law, then you don't need to be our city attorney. Oh, yeah. That's right. But let me just backtrack just a moment. Okay? When you have problems, y'all walk around with y'all cell phones every single day. Every single day. I swear, I have like this meter on the inside of me. If I get like 100 feet away from my phone, it's like this meter that goes off like, boop, 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 boop. You're about to leave your phone. I got to go back and get my cell phone because I can't roll without it. Right? It's my means of communication, seeing what's going on in the world. Right? Guess what? If you have a phone, and most of you guys have a smartphone, it has a camera. Has a camera. Even if your camera is broken and it doesn't work, there's apps you can download for recording. If you are having a problem, we just need to get in the habit of doing this anyway when we have problems and stuff like that, especially with city officials or law enforcement, because it's always your word against theirs. Okay? There's a code of ethics for law enforcement and for city employees. They all serve at the expectation and the will of Mayor Burt. And so if his employees are out of line, not only do we need to have record of that, but also I think it would benefit us. We need to know the history of these employees. We need to file first. The first thing we always need to do if you're having problems, file a complaint from law enforcement to your city employees. If you're having problems, file a complaint. You're having problems with the county clerk, file a complaint. Law enforcement, file a complaint. File a complaint. But once you do that, submit an open records request. You need that person's name. Get as much information as you can. I've talked about it when we talked about Miranda rights. You know, after something happens, you need to write down everything that happens before you forget, all the details you can remember. You need to get people's names. If you're talking about law enforcement, get their name, their badge number. If you can, get your phone out, take a picture or record the number of their vehicle, or their license plate or whatever. Get every detail that you can. So when you do submit a complaint, you got all of the details. They got to stop playing with us. And we got to stop playing with them. Because these folks they should serve at the will of the people. And if they're not doing that, they are infringing on the constitutionals at a state and a federal level, better believe it, of the rights of the people. And so what do we do Sorry, Uncle Clee. I'm going to have to call you back. I'm on the air. What do we do when the rights of the people are infringed upon? We got to fight back. But we can't fight back. We're being emotional. I've talked about this because I've seen the nasty comments of people out there. Oh, you should just drag her to jail for, like Diana Watt's daughter. Yeah, she used some foul language when her mother got dragged out of the car. But for the person who's listening, thank God that's all she did. Thank God that's all she did. There's some folks out there who would have who would have fired that officer up. That officer may not have made it home. Come on. If the thing that she did was use a little foul language, but y'all need to quit playing. Somebody put their hands on your mama. Are you not probably gonna lose your mind? Come on, y'all. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I've seen how people demonize other people from what they're going through. And so this is why I say, sometimes it's hard. It's really, really hard. We have to be intelligent, not be emotional when we go through these things. Record what's going on, write it down, submit the complaint. But the next step needs to be, you need to be calling your city council person and make them aware. I filled out a complaint. What are you going to do about it? Record that conversation. Record that meeting with them. Huh? We got to start making these folks work. I guess they thought that they were just going to vote and all they get to do is sit in air conditioning all day and go through land deals and that's it. That's not how this works. You're also supposed to address the concerns and the needs of the people. And that's not happening. All the while, talk to a lawyer. Consultations often for 30 minutes are free. Talk to a lawyer. Call a lawyer. See if you have a case. If you feel that your rights have been infringed upon, get some representation. Because my programmer, we chop it up sometimes. And he says, Marie, I understand you advocating for people's rights, but the only thing that's going to make sense to them is taking their stuff. Just like a child, when they're out of line, the only thing that makes sense is putting them on punishment, restricting them access to things so they can understand that they just can't do whatever they, as my granny would say, baby, you can't do whatever pops into your little head. You can't do whatever pops into your mind. Why? It's consequences. And that's the thing. We're letting people escape from consequences. Consequences. But they will not. And why am I fighting for you and pressing the issue with you, the citizen? Because they won't hesitate to do the same for you. Do you see how this works? You know that the Constitution says that if you have been implicated in an infamous crime, that you have a right to know the evidence against you, to a speedy and fair trial, to know all of your accusers, and to have proper representation. That's how the system is outlined in the Constitution. But is that the same thing that happens to you? The 14th Amendment says that we have equal protection under the law. So how is it your friends and your family get locked up for drinking under the influence, but Justin Whaley, who has ties to the sheriff's department, gets to not only be arrested at the scene after he kills somebody from drinking under the influence, but then has his bail reduced from $600,000 to $50,000. Can your relative do that? Do they get those type of deals? Do they get to resign from their job and have no consequences? Come on. Come on. Equal protection means that we should all be judged and treated fairly. Judged and treated fairly. Yeah. But is that happening? The city of Chattanooga, as well as the county commission, city council, has abated $26 million in taxes from 2017 fiscal year. But if you get behind in your taxes, they will take your house, but they're not collecting taxes themselves. Oh, wait. Y'all see how this works? Government will swiftly and quickly act to pressure you, hurt you, take from you, steal from you, oppress you, but let you try to hold them accountable and see how difficult it is. And so when somebody sent me a clip of Ben Sass, who was talking about the Kavanaugh confirmation, he talked about it plainly. He's a Republican, and I still appreciate him. I know I'm going to get some flack from that from my community. That's cool. I don't care about party. Party doesn't matter to me. We're so tied up in party and everything else like that. We're really missing out on who's good. Good people can be part of anything. Terrible people can be part of anything. We need to stop it. I'm not for you just because you're a Democrat. Oop. Ben Sass talked about it. Folks like love talking about the alphabet soup organizations like the NAACP, Caleb, and all these other folks, as if they have the legislative or executive power. No, your city council has legislative power. Your mayor has executive power. So what should happen first at a primary level within government? If it can't happen, secondly, it should be handled by the executive. If it's not handled by the executive, the only tertiary situation that we have is our judicial branch. Y'all see how this works? We have levels of government because they're supposed to take care of problems. And what is your city council doing to really help the people? I'm telling you, I need to start. I guess I need to start collecting the agenda and posting them for those who don't make it. Or if somebody could do that for me, collect the agenda every week and then post the pictures of it on Facebook. Post the pictures of the city council agenda. And all you will see on the inside, as far as formal business and issues, are land and development deals alone. And unless a person is there representing the community that chooses to talk to the council, it is not considered official business. That's a problem, folks. I talked about the lazy legislature for a reason yesterday. Because not only will they not educate you and help you on the process of things like open records or filing a complaint, but then they're not even using their power to help you. Because, right, they're powerless. They have no power. There's nothing they can do to help you. You elect them, but then it's nothing they can do for you once they get there. Come on, man. We can't believe that. The Constitution doesn't say that. Constitution doesn't say that. Y'all know what it is. Marie Mott with the Marie Mott Show. I'm fighting for you. Whether you realize it or not, I'm fighting for you. Why? Because your rights are important. But if they're not respected, you got to fight back. Why? Because your case, your fight back could be what saves somebody else. Y'all know what it is. Marie with the Marie Mott Show. Y'all know my saying, my moniker, my mantra. If no one has taken the time today to tell you that they love you, Marie Rachel Holdmott, yeah, I got 4 names, loves you. And it's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Tune in at 1 for David Tullis. And meet me back at 11 tomorrow for the Marie Mott Show. Y'all have a good day here in the city of Chattanooga.
3, 2, 1.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
Benjamin Brewer, the truck driver who was convicted in the deaths of 6 people on I-70